Hey guys, as you can tell, the scenery is a bit different today.
We are not in our living room.
We are outside. Wow.
That was the same
And we're
time.
so synced.
Today, we are going to talk about our proposal story. It was probably top 3 best days of my life.
I said to my friend at school, oh, Daniel has a surprise date for us planned on Saturday. And she was like, oh, are you going to get engaged? And I was like, no.
I felt like, oh, this is getting real.
I was so nervous.
The day that you became betrothed to me,
It was a great day.
it was probably top 3 best days of my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wedding, birth of our son, proposal.
Yeah, and just so you know, if you hear any squeaks in the background or squeals or laughter, it's our son. He's in a stroller right here, so
He's just enjoying watching
he's
us.
along for the ride. This is actually the first video that he's been able to watch be filmed.
Yeah.
So
Usually
there you go.
he's sleeping.
It's a milestone.
It is a milestone, but we haven't shared much about our proposal story before.
Yeah.
There were a few different elements to it. Daniel, do you want to share a little bit
Yeah.
about those elements?
Step 1, we drove out to a town that's about 30 minutes away from where I was living at the time. And we went to the spot where I would propose. It's a beautiful spot. It was like on a beach, shore. And we met a photographer there. But Mariah didn't know we were meeting a photographer there. And he captured the moment where I got down on one knee and asked her to be my wife. After
awesome.
that, we drove back to my place where there was a private chef and an interior designer that set up a room within my place as like dining room.
Like a
for two.
private dining room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the chef prepared a 5-course meal for us, and we ate, hung out. I think we danced a bit, and then we called our families and
Yeah.
friends and let them know that we were now engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say, like, out of those different elements was most surprising to you that day?
I feel like it was all very surprising. I remember before, so we were long distance at the time. And before I left to go see you for the weekend, my friend at school said to me, I said to my friend at school, oh, Daniel has a surprise date for us planned on Saturday. And she was like, oh, are you going to get engaged? And I was like, no. I was so convinced that it was not happening that day. And so I was surprised about it all. I was surprised about the town that we went to for those, when it actually happened, when you actually got down on one knee. It was such a kind of random place to go. It was beautiful, though.
Yeah.
I'll put pictures throughout this video.
And then for context, the place that we were going to was so random because I was trying to find somewhere that was beautiful, that our photographer knew and was comfortable with shooting at. And so we drove out there, and why she wouldn't be expecting like a big thing is that we were on a bit of a spending freeze because we knew our wedding was coming. And so it just means we weren't spending anything. We were pretty much allocating everything towards our future wedding and marriage. And so I had to make up a whole elaborate story about us having a date day planned in this city that was 30 minutes away.
Yeah, and I believed it.
And you believed it. But
pretty
not just the fact that we were having a date day, but that some friends basically gave us money towards that date day.
Sponsored it.
Yeah. Because, or else she'd be like, oh, I thought we were on a spending freeze. Like, why are we spending? You know what I mean? So that was it.
And then after the proposal happened, I was also surprised because you're like, oh, we're heading to another thing. I have another part to the day.
And you were nervous.
I was so nervous.
Why were you nervous?
So that drive was another 30 to 45 minutes back to his place. But I didn't know we were going to his place. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
So did you blindfold me? I can't remember.
No. Oh, yeah.
I think you might have.
Yeah, I think I might have said, once we were getting... would it have been for the full drive, you think?
No, not the full drive.
Yeah, I think maybe as we drove and we were 20 minutes out, maybe 15 minutes out, I had you put blindfolds.
Yeah, and I remember because I walked into your place, but I didn't know it was your place, and it smelled really good. There was food being cooked.
Yeah.
And then you walked me into what was your room, but it was set up completely different, and I took the blindfold off, and I was like, wow. But I was nervous because it's kind of, some people will throw engagement parties right after the engagement happens, and I think that's awesome. But for me, it's just not my style.
Yeah.
It's not what I wanted in the moment.
And I feel too, unique to that time of life, we were super busy.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to almost like when we were together, we wanted to capitalize on all the alone time that we had.
Yeah.
So even more so in that time, we weren't really in the mood for a party. And I knew that. So I'm like, let's set up my room, which would one day become our room,
yeah.
into like a fine dining restaurant. We had a friend of ours who's an interior designer set it up as if it was a restaurant, and then a private chef that we knew as well who catered the night for us, which is awesome.
So I was nervous, but it all worked out because we were just alone, and it was just so beautiful.
I think the one thing I would say to a guy who's proposing to his soon-to-be wife is don't do what makes the biggest bang, like makes the biggest noise. Do the thing that you think your significant other would love.
Yeah.
Because I think there's temptation to go like, big party.
Yeah.
Air balloon ride.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, right? Air balloon?
Hot air balloon.
Hot air
you were
balloon.
close.
Yeah. Big party, hot air balloon ride. Let's do the
Just
big
like
thing.
dumping a bunch of money into
Yeah,
the proposal.
when your significant other is sitting there like, oh, I actually don't care for that. I just want to be with you.
Yeah.
So I felt pretty clear on the fact that we were going to do something just the two of us.
Yeah, totally. And I remember I did say to you before you proposed to me, hey, I think I want a photographer there if possible. And you made that happen. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Pictures, we'll always
Yeah,
look
and that
back
was
on them.
that was a
and
value
they're really
of mine
special.
too. So I was like, yeah, we have to make sure to capture this moment. It's funny, there was a moment where I was trying to locate the photographer because the place where we got engaged was like a place where there's a lot of tourists walking around.
Different trails and stuff.
Like, it's like niche tourism. So it's like people who are walking around with like their hiking gear, and I had to locate our photographer. And so what I did was I hugged Mariah when I saw him, and then I waited for him to give me like the cue, like go over there to the spot where I should, like, because he was like set up specifically at a certain angle to get the shot. So I was like, okay, sounds good. And then meanwhile, I'm like hugging Mariah, hoping that she doesn't see him. I don't know if you would have recognized him, but still.
I did remember seeing him. I didn't recognize him. I don't know who he is. But the reason why I like remembered in my head is because I think there was a lot of older people at that park at the time.
Yeah.
But he was younger, and he was very like hipster vibes.
Yeah.
And so I just remember seeing like, oh.
Would you have known him at that point or no?
No.
Yeah.
Like that, I met him that
but
day.
But you recognized that there was a younger guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
and he had
that
like
makes
his
sense.
camera bag and stuff. So he was like, but I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so we were at my place, had a 5-course meal. It was awesome. Picked like all of our favorite dishes. And then we danced for a while, put on some like slow jams, and then afterwards we called our closest family and friends.
Yeah, it was
and
beautiful.
Shared the big news. So it was an
beautiful.
awesome day. This was January 2019.
Yes.
6 years already. It's wild.
2019 in my head is 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's like someone was
6 years
mentioning
ago.
the pandemic the other day, and they're like, oh yeah, like 5 years ago was a trip. And I was like, wait, 5 years?
That's crazy.
Anyways,
that's the story.
Yeah.
We hope that inspires you if you're getting engaged.
The last question that we'll end on is, how did you feel about our process of ring selection?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So some couples go ring shopping before, some couples don't, and they give their husband or their future husband free reign to decide on the ring. And as much as I trust your style and judgment, and I think you would have gotten an amazing ring, we did go ring shopping before. When we did go ring shopping, I remember I felt really nervous. How did you feel? Did you feel nervous too, or did you feel normal?
I felt like, oh, this is getting real.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling like, oh, it felt like it was like a threshold we walked past.
Yes.
That forced me to really think about the decision.
Yeah.
And it was another like point of confirmation that like, no, she's definitely the one.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember feeling like almost like awkward putting the rings on my finger to try them on, and it just was very like nerve-wracking almost. But I had in my mind a really specific idea of a ring. I wanted a blue sapphire, and so that's why we talked about it beforehand. I'm not wearing it right now, sadly, because it still doesn't fit me after pregnancy. I might need to get it resized. I'm still waiting another couple months to see if eventually it will fit me. But I love I loved the ring. It was amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's our proposal story. If you have any questions about our engagement or how long we dated before we got engaged or anything like that, feel free to drop it in the comments, and we'd love to answer it for you.
And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you like this video, make sure to watch this video next. Talk to you next week.